A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic effort, U.S. President Donald Trump is set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin next Friday in Alaska, aiming to find a resolution to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, which began with Russia's invasion in February 2022. This summit comes as Trump has been vocal about his ambitions to broker peace, claiming he could resolve the war in just 24 hours. However, despite multiple attempts at negotiations, including phone calls and diplomatic visits, a breakthrough has yet to be achieved. The announcement of the summit was made by Trump on his Truth Social platform, which was later confirmed by the Kremlin. The meeting, scheduled for August 15th, is seen as a logical step for both leaders, as they have indicated a desire to engage in dialogue. Trump expressed his commitment to stopping the violence, stating, "They would like to meet with me. I'll do whatever I can to stop the killing." At the White House, he hinted at possible territorial exchanges that could benefit both Ukraine and Russia, although he did not elaborate on the specifics. The choice of Alaska as the meeting venue is noteworthy, given its historical ties to Russia, which sold the territory to the United States in 1867. The proximity of Alaska to Russia, particularly across the Bering Strait, adds a geographical significance to the summit. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov emphasized the economic intersections between the two nations in the Arctic region, suggesting that discussions could extend beyond the Ukrainian crisis to include mutually beneficial projects. Ushakov also expressed hope for future meetings to take place in Russia, indicating that an invitation has already been extended to Trump. The backdrop of the summit is complicated by an International Criminal Court (ICC) arrest warrant for Putin, which could limit the options for hosting the talks. Previous suggestions had included the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, China, and India as potential venues. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has been advocating for a three-way summit, asserting that engaging directly with Putin is essential for progress. Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, had proposed a trilateral meeting during his recent discussions with Putin, but the Russian leader has not shown interest in meeting with Zelensky at this stage. During negotiations in Istanbul last June, Russian representatives indicated that a meeting between Putin and Zelensky would only be feasible once a peace agreement had been reached. When asked if a meeting with Zelensky was a prerequisite for the Trump-Putin summit, Trump replied, "No, he doesn't." This upcoming meeting marks the first time Trump and Putin will be together since their last encounter at a G20 summit in Japan in 2019. The two leaders have maintained communication through phone calls since January, and their previous summit in Helsinki in 2018 raised eyebrows when Trump appeared to side with Putin over U.S. intelligence findings regarding Russian interference in the 2016 election. The last visit of a Russian president to the United States was in 2015, when Putin met with former President Barack Obama during a UN General Assembly session. Despite ongoing diplomatic efforts, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine remains unresolved, with both sides entrenched in their positions. Putin has dismissed calls for an immediate ceasefire from the US, Ukraine, and Europe, while Russia's demands include the withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from territories it claims to have annexed and a commitment from Ukraine to remain neutral, avoiding Western military alliances and NATO membership. On the other hand, Kyiv insists on an immediate ceasefire and refuses to recognize Russian control over its territory, acknowledging that any return of land will require diplomatic negotiations rather than military action. Additionally, Ukraine seeks security guarantees from Western allies, including the potential deployment of foreign troops as peacekeepers to uphold any ceasefire agreement. As the world watches, the upcoming summit between Trump and Putin could be a pivotal moment in the quest for peace in Ukraine, though significant challenges remain. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.